Hi and welcome. I can't believe I found this spot in the shade. No wind. Oh my god, this is great. And even with a nice little view. Today marks our 3 months Mexico anniversary, if you could say that. I've been really bad at filming for the past 6 weeks, so I thought I would spice it up a little bit with some insights, some tips, and things that we wish we would have known before coming to Mexico. Baja, Mexico. This is really such a great place to be. Just be here and live here in your vehicle or whatever. I just wanted you to kind of know what to expect, what maybe to prepare, just to make it a little easier and just so that you're not as surprised. I hope you learned something new. You might know that I'm not an advocate for toilets, but have at least a bucket. It's really, really, really important. You're gonna need something here, 100%, because you just do, believe me. And then bring enough bucket filler or whatever fancy stuff you use for your toilet, because it is really hard to get a hold of a lot of things here. As for stuff for like the regular bucket method, you will only find cat litter. I don't know about coco coir, I haven't looked for that yet here. The little 1-pound propane bottles are really, really hard to come by here. We knew it was not gonna be like so easy to get them here, so we stocked up a little bit, but we're running low. Big stores, they have them at crazy prices. Walmart doesn't have it. Home Depot kind of has it. It has the long ones. They are pretty insane. Now we're like at a random camp store. Oh, I see Kevin coming back.
No PNA.
Now let's go to one of the ferreterias. We found one store that has them at a reasonable price, $8 per, not a full pound, and they're like long. So be aware and stock up or have a different propane solution. You can fill your propane if you have the big ones, but if you need the small ones, bring enough like organic, biodegradable, fancy, eco-friendly shampoo, dish liquid, or soap, because those things, I don't know. I've seen like some like natural cosmetic stuff in 1 or 2 very bougie like coffee shops or so. It's really rare. If you kind of specific with what you want to use, especially dumping the gray water, you want to use the most basic soap, non-scented, biodegradable, no sulfates and stuff. So just get enough in the States or wherever you're coming from. If you do have snorkeling gear at home, or if you're thinking about getting something anyway, just get it at home. You're gonna have a bigger variety of things to choose from, and it's probably gonna be cheaper. Here it's actually kind of expensive, mostly, surprisingly. Also rash guards, I could only find some at Walmart or so, and not a great selection. Also swimsuits, I just can't find any good stores. Wetsuits are really hard to come by, and for us it was kind of a surprise, because we're like, we're down here, it's sunny, it's warm, but if you like want to go snorkeling this time, it's still a bit fresh, so a wetsuit is kind of nice to have, and they're really expensive down here.
How was it?
Oh, good. So many giant fish. Try to also have just loose water containers for water and maybe like, I don't know, some pumps so you can fill your big tank if you have a big tank, because you're just not as flexible finding places that actually fill, that like have a hose and that fill up the big tanks. We only have the small portable ones, and so we can fill up our water at all the agua purificada places. You don't want to get water anywhere else, honestly. So you have to go there, you have to pay for your water, but it's pretty cheap. On that note, you have to wash your veggies. It's not that crazy. We have a little spray bottle with vinegar, so we spray veggies with vinegar or let it sit in a vinegar water solution for a little bit and then rinse it off again. Just keep it in mind that you should probably do that. One word about the seasons. So if you plan to come in the winter time, December till March, like we did, this is a great time for whales, for whale watching. They're especially active at the end of February. There's like whales everywhere, especially on the Pacific side. I haven't seen one yet on the east side, so yeah. Also turtles.
This guy flipped himself over and he's trying. Oh, come on, come on.
It's like a baby. It's like a baby human.
Yeah.
It's tired.
Turtle releases, they're happening like every day until the end of February. I don't know when they start exactly, but you know, summer, January, February is a good time. Be aware that it's not gonna be super warm, especially when you're not in southern Baja. And now it's March, we're in southern Baja, it like really starts to warm up a little bit, which is nice. But before that, like December, January, it was a little fresh sometimes. In a puffy jacket and a hat. This winter time is also not great for visibility when snorkeling. It's just it's just not really the season for it. Wind makes or breaks your day. If it's like a super windy day, it's gonna be a little tough. And I guess it depends where you are. Some places here are more windy, some are less windy. La Ventana is very windy. It's nice to have kind of an app if you want to plan ahead for when you go snorkeling or do like a whale watching tour, whatever. If it's a high wind day, it's gonna be shit. So you're gonna be on a lot of beaches camping, and a lot of them are gonna be free, and it's amazing, but be prepared to sometimes have to pay. It kind of depends on the area. There are some like close to Cabo, but also especially in the Bahia de Concepcion. There's basically no free campsite. It is around $10 a night, which, you know, is still fine. And usually garbage cans and showers, no. And pit toilets are provided. And most other places are free, and it's amazing. Of course, I'm like telling you all these things and like what to be mindful of, but it is so worth it. It is really great, and it's just takes it all to a new level. Be prepared to not be alone. So you're gonna meet lots of fellow travelers, which is gonna be great.
I don't fuck with you.
I know I can turn it off.
New York gold watch with a chain that's twirling.
Welcome to my world. Bienvenido a Miami.
Real boss beats don't give a fuck
Unless they look like Mick Jagger.
I want it that way.
Baja's kind of full of tourists, especially US and Canadian tourists. Sometimes if you just want to be by yourself, there's always going to be another camper near you. We've barely been to a place where there were no other campers. There will be loud locals with their cars, windows down, super loud music, either at night when you're in town somewhere or very early in the morning when you're parked at a beach. Had both things happen. It's just a thing. It's just what I like to do. If you do like the social aspect of it, look for gatherings. We went to Escapar a la Baja, which was huge, and there were so many people, and it has, I think this was the 3rd year, something like that, and it's just gonna go on. So it's always like around February. This was like February 1st. It's completely free, which is awesome, like especially considering big van gatherings. But it was great. There was, I don't know, there was so much going on, like so many parties and foods, kind of workshops. Like, for example, this ice bath workshop. Fun fact, 60 seconds of 60 degrees or colder water increases the white blood cells by 600% for 6 days. It was just really fun, and yeah, definitely worth it. It was a whole 6-day event, so either you commit or you don't have to be there the whole time, but it was fun. We liked it. That's kind of a no-brainer. Have friends or family visit you. It's always so cool to see familiar faces in foreign places like this, even though you've made friends, but it's still something else to like have a piece of home. It's so nice. Another great thing is that they usually get an Airbnb or hotel, and then you can take some really, really nice showers. Showers are gonna be pretty infrequent, and it's gonna be rare that you can do like a full-on naked shower, which is kind of tough. There's gonna be some showers in the public. Our solar shower, which we love, it's really, really, really handy. If you think about it, do it when you come here. It's so good. There can be people around where you shower. It's paying for showers. There are some places we found like a couple or so, or 3, and some campsites have them, but it's really, you kind of have to look for it, and it's a whole thing. I would advise you, as for trash, to keep your trash bags small but more frequent. Does that make sense? It's really hard to even find a trash can, and often they're kind of overflowing or there's just like small. It is so freaking hard. If you like collect this big thing and then you like, it's really gonna be hard. We actually separate like wet and organic kind of waste from the dry stuff, and then the wet stuff we have to, you know, get rid of regularly. We kind of like keep it in chips bags or just like plastic bags that we have anyway from other foods. It kind of like sits on the floor for a little bit, but it's not that big a deal. Drive around and look for trash cans. That's just the reality of it. Like some beaches actually have them, some don't. Like this one doesn't, but the next one does. You never know. And as for beach cleanups, I highly recommend you do that if you have some time. Kind of maybe know where you're gonna put it. A quick word on recycling. Surprise, surprise, it barely exists here. However, in bigger towns, there can be some separate bins, so watch out for that. And in general, a local told me that you can put aluminum cans in a clear plastic bag and just put them next to trash cans or somewhere, and locals will collect and sell it. You won't have service in a lot of places. Of course, when you're kind of like close to towns, there will be service, which is great, but can't always rely on it. If you have to work, then I don't know, either get Starlink yourself, so many people have it here, or befriend a Starlink person that is camped close to you. And Wi-Fi in cafes often really sucks. I don't know why, but there were only like maybe a couple where it was doable and not like super slow. Be ready to not eat a lot of tofu if that's your thing. There's soy rizo everywhere, every store, but tofu, we like had one place that had it, so we bought like a couple, and then the next time we went they didn't have it anymore. In total we found like maybe 2 or 3 stores that had tofu, and we're looking in every store that we go to, and there's like big stores like Walmart or like the huge Soriana or whatever. They don't have it. You gotta be okay with a dirty van for a little bit. We had our van cleaned actually in like the beginning of February. Before that, we've never washed our van ever, and it was just as dirty like a week later. And like, it's kind of wild that like within 1 to 2 weeks it got to a dirtiness level of the same as like having it for over a year, you know, and it will get rusty. One reason for that is that you will be on countless dirt roads to get to the good spots, the goat farm, or regular towns. You just have to endure dust and bumps, so prep your drawers for that. And everyone will get stuck eventually. It's a part of the experience. So in that case, it's great to have track pads and potentially an air compressor, because you will need to air down your tires. And let's fucking air down those tires. Yeah. In some cases, however, that's not gonna do it, and you need a pole. For that, you cannot just have a flimsy rope. You need to pack a thick rope, something that is made to pull your weight. If you have some like van maintenance or car maintenance or whatever, or like some things that you want to repair or get done, just do it here. Don't be afraid, unless you maybe have like a super new, super electric car, I don't know. But if you have like an older thing, oh yeah, and it's gonna be super cheap. We've only had our AC fixed so far, but it was such a great experience. It's cold. It was like $120, and we're also gonna do some more maintenance before we head up north, and probably also get a paint job. Rusty, go to the doctor here. Like a checkup that you would have to pay for in the States, just do it here. I mean, it's kind of obvious, a lot of people do it. Go to the dentist, get your fillings if you need them, get root canals, whatever. do this here, plan for it. There's lots of doctors who speak great English, and it's really not too hard for us. Like, we went to 2 doctors, one from a recommendation, the other one just like randomly Google. Both were great. So yeah, we got a few tattoos. I got 4, Kevin got 2, part from a fellow vandreller, part from a professional studio, and in the studio they were pretty cheap. I got one here and there for a total of, I think, $250 US. Kevin got one here for 180, just so you kind of know. However, be prepared to be fucking miserable for 2 weeks, because I'm not supposed to swim for 2 weeks, at least. Some even saying longer. It is so hard. It was like mentally draining not being able to go in the water at all. And if we would have done it like before going up north we still would have wanted to go in the water. So there's like, you know, if you fly here, okay, easy, but yeah, it was hard. At least that made us seek out a hike, and we saw and heard our first Mexican sea lions. Really cool. Yeah, that was definitely the silver lining of that time. In general, we found the best food is the cheapest food. It kind of makes sense, because the cheap food, that's what the locals can afford. That's where the locals go mostly. It's just the real stuff, the real deal. And everything that is more expensive is made for gringos like us, like me. It's not always the best, honestly. We've never really been disappointed at a local spot that is like purely local, but like once your server speaks English, I would be wary.
I'm out of here.
Tip the baggers in the grocery store. Just let them do it. They don't get like an hourly wage. It's only the tips. So be nice and tip them. Normal is 5 pesos per bag, but you can obviously also do more. Drone flying is actually prohibited if you're not a citizen, a Mexican citizen. A lot of people do it. I've done it too. Here I even had to do it for the engagement of our friends. Congratulations. Don't do it so open in public. If there's police, if they see you, if they know, you're gonna be in trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble, but yeah, just keep that in mind. I didn't really talk much about security because everything has been fine. Just use your common sense. Be still cautious. Of course, lock your van. Some beaches are a little more prone to have thefts. Just don't really leave your stuff out at night. Be nice. Don't be stupid. And don't be fearful. You made it. That was it. That was also my last Mexico video. We're still gonna be here for a few weeks, but I just need a bit of a break. Some real off time without having editing in the back of my mind. I kind of need to focus more on my career and something that actually makes money, because YouTube is just like playing the lottery every day in a way. I will be back. There will be one more video coming pretty soon, but it's not really Mexico related. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support so far, and yeah, I will see you. I'll see you when I see you, but I will see you. And come to Mexico. Showering. Showers. What are all these ants doing here now? They just woke up.